Recorded live with little or no editing, it's Roster Roast. I'm here today looking over Skibs War Defense. We grade on 5 things. It's power, placement, who you're using, their ISO weights, and the mood that I'm in. And I'm feeling pretty peppy today, so hopefully Skibs will get a good grade. But unfortunately, he's leading off with defenders on defense, and that's the thing I don't like to see. He doesn't even have ISOs on them, but that's okay, because Skibs, you got to remove this team altogether. It's just no good. Luke Cage is on the outside. You should put Daredevil next to him. That way Daredevil gets a little bit of splash damage and Punisher retaliates. But the thing is Luke Cage is so slow that Daredevil's probably going to die before Luke Cage even taunts, because somebody will probably go Iron Fist and then Punisher and then kill Daredevil, and the team just folds like a lawn chair. It's really terrible. It's better than Shield Guards. Somebody has to actually bring in something. They're a nice power level, but this is a great cleanup team for offense. You should not be using them on defense. I'm going to give this a D+. Actually, no, this is a D because your ISOs are missing. I mean, you should have Healer on Iron Fist, Raider on Punisher, Raider on Daredevil. You can even do Striker on Punisher, actually. JJ is a Skirmisher, and Luke Cage is going to be Healer also. So fix those ISOs. You should probably adjust your placement a little bit, and then just use the team on offense. All right, team number 2 is the Brotherhood. Brotherhood Early Edition. Now, this team still works really well on Coulson Fury Shield. 2.0, of course, is way better. But this is an offensive team for sure, and you shouldn't be using them on defense. You're probably going to get 1 win at best with this team. Somebody could literally just come in with like 1 crap tune to make Magneto pop off, and then somebody else comes in, and it'll cost them an energy and nothing more. So, yeah, I think this is another team that you should be using on offense for sure. Let's take a look at your ISOs, though. You're going to want to... See, I haven't looked at the Brotherhood 1.0 in a long time, so I'm not even sure. We want to put Juggernaut on the outside, and then probably put Sabretooth or Mystique next to him. Sabretooth heals, and Mystique has a stealth ability, and it really depends on what way you're using. And probably go Mystique next to Juggernaut, and then Sabretooth, and then Magneto, and then finally you want Pyro. Pyro is a striker, that's right. Magneto's a raider, that's correct. Sabretooth as a skirmisher or raider. Mystique as a raider or a skirmisher. But you don't want to put Fortifier on Juggernaut. He's the last to die. He's got plenty of health. He's going to be surviving and doing just fine. So make sure that you switch him over to a healer. So your ISOs are a little bit off, your placement's wrong, and then you don't want to be using this team on defense at all. So again, this is a D. But otherwise, it's going to be a good offensive team. So you could put some power into Magneto a little bit, but switch it up to the 2.0. 2.0 is, it's an upgrade. Switch it over to 2.0 and use it on offense. All right, team number 3, we've got dumpster fire of trash right here. Look at this. You've got Shuri, which is a good tune to use on different hybrid teams, but not this hybrid. This is really garbage. You're trying to synergize with Ant-Man and Wasp, and they should be synergizing in on the bottom of your roster, really. Just don't use them anywhere. They're terrible. I mean, Pimtech team, of course, but they're really low power, so yeah. And then Hulk, what's going on with Hulk? You've got him in that middle range where, I don't know. Man, and no ISOs on any of these guys? Like, put these people on their teams, give them the ISOs and the proper power levels. This is an absolute F, in my opinion. Because Shuri's a waste. You could be using her on a bunch of different hybrid teams. Hulk's a waste. You should put him on the Wave 1 Avengers. War Machine, get him out there on power armor on offense. Okay, this is absolutely horrible. At least you've got healer class on Shuri. That's the only thing you've done right here. But otherwise, this is no good. Get rid of this team. That's an F. And you got the Asgardians. Asgardians on defense are no longer any good. There's so many counters to Asgardians. They are not at all the gods of war like they used to be. So let's see. You've got Skirmisher on the Hela Loki combo, and that's a big no-no. If you're going to use this team, you need Hela as the striker and Loki as the skirmisher. That way he sets up the taunt and the defense down. She goes into that taunt and then spreads the debuffs And also, she's going to double attack with that double combo, triple combo hit thing like that. And let's see. You've got Skirmisher on Heimdall. He should be a Raider. You've got Fortifier on your tank. Again, don't do that. Make her a healer or a Raider. And then if you're going to be using this team on defense, you might as well make Thor a striker and utilize the glitch that's causing everybody problems. Thor's hammer throw, it screws things up and crashes. You can use it to your advantage until Scopely fixes that. Otherwise, Raider's actually the right way to go. But honestly, break this team up and put... break this team up, use a hybrid or use them on offense because symbiotes walk right over this team. Your ISOs are wrong. Your placement's kind of screwy because, you want Sif on the outside and then you want probably Heimdall next to Sif and then go Thor in the middle with Hela and Loki on the side is how most people are doing the standard team. But I don't like this team. You've got decent power levels in them. Use them on offense. This is a seam... Oh, your ISOs are so screwed up. I'm trying to give you a better grade, buddy, but you gotta figure out how these ISOs work. Stop using Fortifier on the tanks. That's a D+. Okay, next up. This is an absolute waste. Are these actual shield guards in here with your shield team? Or is this... No, I don't... Wow. Okay, that's an F. Moving on. Inhumans, another offensive team on defense. And what are you doing with Yo-Yo down here in the 17k range? This is terrible. Bring her up into 60k range so that she can fight with the rest of the team. Use them on offense. If you're going to use this team on defense, then you go back and you use, Coulson and Fury, but they're not on this team, are they? You use Coulson and Fury with these three in the front row and then in place of Quake and Karnak. And that makes a pretty decent defensive team. Let's see your ISOs. Skirmisher Striker on the Black Bolt and Yo-Yo, that's good. Karnak as a skirmisher. He doesn't really need the focus, so there's no reason to bring him up. Honestly, I think making him a striker, skirmisher works, but I kind of like him as a striker just to give him a little bit more damage. He's not doing really anything other than setting a taunt on this team. Quake is a Raider, that's correct, and her as a Raider also, that's correct. So that's good. Placement on this team doesn't matter so much. I think you've got them in a pretty good spot. So that's okay, but use them on offense. Again, this is a waste of resources. I don't like to see that. So I'm going to give you a C for that team. Next up is Old School S6. Missing some ISOs. Power levels are okay. Your placement is okay. Get Doc Ock on this team, and it's going to be working pretty good. You got Raider, and Raider. Mysterio could be a skirmisher, and Rhino could also be a Raider. You should put Striker on. I kind of like Striker on Vulture because he goes fast. He does pretty good damage. I have 7 red stars on him by chance, and so I like to use him as a Striker just to get that opening kind of a mollywop intro with those. I don't know. This is okay. You really need Doc Ock before this team functions. A 200k aim team is going to put the kibosh to this, but your placement's okay, and you can use Raider on all these people. Just get those ISOs on those missing 2. I'm going to give that a C+. And finally, what's our last team down here peeking by? Our last team is another pile of trash. What are you using Domino without Deadpool for? Like, where is Deadpool? I mean, and Nebula? Who even uses Nebula? Like, at all? Like, she's just horrible. She's got to be top 10 worst characters in the game right now. Bullseye, if you're going to use Bullseye, he's got to be on a Merc team, or he's got to just be sitting at the bottom of your roster at like 400 power. Like 400, not a K, 400 power, because he's so absolutely worthless other than just some speed and damage on a Merc team. That's it. Invisible Woman with Thing. Hey, look, you've got some synergy going. Just get the rest of your Fantastic Four and then, throw in She-Hulk if you're going to run them on defense. But this is horrible. You don't have any ISOs on them. The placement isn't going to matter on this team because they're garbage. This is garbage. Oh, man, get rid of this team. This is the absolute F. Invisible Woman and Thing should be used on offense. in conjunction with Namor. That makes them I mean, they're a fantastic, no pun intended, offensive team, and that's where they should be used. Not with She-Hulk, not on defense, but if you're going to use them on defense, that's the way it goes. This is a F. So, yeah, you've got a whole bunch of wasted teams here. Things that just, I mean, for crying out loud, what is going on here? I don't even know. Fix these up. See if you can't get rid. Do I even see one actual defensive team? No. I mean, technically, this is a war defensive team right here that you've got, but they're horrible. They're horrible on defense now. We really need, like, Odin to come in and with a passive that says flip war offense to defense or vice versa, so that these will be used on offense or something. I don't know. Something needs to happen to that team because they're broken in the wrong way now. All right. This has been Skibs War Defensive Review. If you like these roster roasts or you want to have a roast of your own, then please find the links in the description below, and you can find me on Discord. Just message me some pics of your war defense. You can see I put it up there so no one will see what room you're in. And no one will see what alliance you're in if you want to do that. Yeah, I'm here every morning on Twitch, 9 to noon. Monday mornings, Pacific time. So come find me, hang out. Remember, don't just have a good game, be good to each other too. Thanks. Bye.